Oh, they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradley and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes, Brad in the morning. Marques, Brad, Justin, Emery.
What up, man? Crazy day. Crazy day this May 28th.
What happened? What's going on May 28th?
Well, today's the official Watergate break-in anniversary.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it took a while for it to
in the country's history.
Yeah, it took a little while for it to kick, all the blowback and everything to affect.
Yeah.
But today's the anniversary of the actual break.
Yeah, this got the ball rolling.
Yeah. So that's a big one. Let's see. 1957, the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers moved respectively to San Francisco and LA.
Okay.
Volkswagen is founded.
Ew.
And it is officially the last day, quote unquote, of spring.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the unofficial beginning of the summer. Memorial Day weekend, which is going to be a horrible weather weekend.
Yeah, it is. I wasn't going to do anything. I didn't have any plans for it anyway. I'm a lay low kind of guy usually most of the time anyway. But when I saw it was going to be in the 50s in late May, I mean, you know my policy on that.
Yeah, I like to be active for Labor Day weekend because the unofficial close of summer means more to me unofficial open of summer. Like I look at Memorial Day weekend yeah, I got plenty of the weekends to go. So I've never really been huge into making sure I had to do something Memorial Day weekend. But Labor Day weekend is a must. You got to get active Labor Day weekend. I want to be involved Labor Day weekend.
I mean, let's not act like I wasn't out here in shorts and a t-shirt for last month already.
Right. And honestly, the weather's weekend's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be 50s and raining. We actually had to cancel my niece's. She's supposed to have her birthday party tomorrow. We're supposed to go to Jersey, and I had to cancel that because you can't do the moon bounce in the rain. That's not right.
Well, no. Hold on. Let me rewind you. Okay, it's not that you can't. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I'll never forget ninth grade. My buddy Jody Quigley snapped his ankle in two on a trampoline, wet trampoline. We were bouncing, and everyone's having a good time. And it started to rain, and we were like, "Yo, let's just stay active.
Let's bounce around."
So we were double bouncing. Do you remember the double bounce?
I do.
Kind of catch a person in the middle of a bounce, they go flying. Well, we double bounced in the rain, and
bad things happen.
Yeah, someone's really hurt. You're at this point in ninth grade, you're 14, and you don't want to cry in front of your friends. So the last thing you want to do is cry in front of your friends. So instead of crying in front of your friends, you start just making weird noises. And we're sitting there bouncing. We have no idea what happened, and we just hear.
Oh man, he's hurt. He's
and we
real hurt.
Over, and his ankle.
Yeah. We can just stop there. We can
straight let it out. It's
Dak Prescott style. We can just stop.
Yeah, it was bad, and we just because we're 14-year-old boys, we just start running in circles. We don't know what to do.
Oh, you have no clue what to do.
We start running around the trampoline in circles, screaming with our hands, our heads, hoping someone's gonna understand the distress.
So have I told you about I may have mentioned him on the show before. My friend that I went to college with, who has the
pincushion, you mean?
What's that?
The pincushion? Someone call my mom? That guy?
No. Oh yeah. Call grandma.
Call grandma? Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy who get hit by the bus, falls down.
Yes. He mentioned a couple times on the show.
Or have it? Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like he would get hurt, and I would just look at him and be like,
"Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do."
So I obviously I went to Penn State, so it's huge. I mean, you can walk. What's the hardest sport to get people to pick up for, either football or baseball, because you need so many people.
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, going to such a big school, I could walk past the athletic
Definitely
field.
the hardest.
Yeah. I could walk past the athletic fields and I could see multiple games of like 7-on-7 football being played just because there were so many people in such a small area.
And football, you don't have like baseball. You have to have 18. Where football, you don't have to have linemen. Like you don't need to do all that. So for baseball, definitely is by far the hardest.
Yeah.
Like you have to call everybody to get them involved.
Yeah. Well, same thing. There was so many people living that you could walk by one of the softball fields or something and see a full game. Soccer, the same thing. You see a full field.
Right.
I remember one time. This was an Eagles bye week. So always Eagles bye week Sunday. You always got extra time to kill.
Mm-hmm.
You got what are you doing? Nothing. Right. So this particular Sunday, we were all like, "Yo, let's go play football." So I had a friend of mine. He is a much larger human being than I am. Like he's offensive lineman big. You know what I mean?
Oh boy, big fella.
Yeah, but he can move. So so he was deceptively quick for his size.
Dangerous big fella.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who, like, if you played during organized football, he played offensive line. But when it was just backyard football, he wanted to play running back. One of those guys.
One of those guys. They're dangerous.
So, I was good for he's my good friend. I was close with him, and we happened to get picked for different teams. So you line up with somebody on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that I had much more stamina than he did. So I knew that he would get tired chasing me around. So where he would beat me in strength, I would beat him by just tiring him out.
Yeah.
So we would make it like we come up to each other and he'd be like, "You want to take this play off?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take this play off." So he wasn't going to kill me. Well, this one particular play, he had the ball and he started running. He starts trucking people. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to take him down like that. So I just go and I just like.
You don't want a big fella with a full head of steam.
No. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to. I'm just going to push him out of bounds. So I kind of just like got it and just like shoved him out of bounds. And he turns and looks at me. He's like, "Next time, I'm running through you." I was like, "Oh." I thought we were taking plays off, being like a little gentle on each other. I was like, I didn't know I had to put on my number 20 and come out here and just lay some lumber. So a couple plays later, same thing. He gets the ball. He's running up the sideline, and he squares up with me. And I know that he's going to try to run through me. I'm not going to take him head on. I'm smarter than that. So I go low, hit him right at the legs, broken ankle. Bigger they are, the harder they fall. What do you want me to say?
Wow.
But so he gets hurt. He rolls off the field, like rolls sideways off the field because no one's big enough to help carry him off the field. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so he's just laying on the sidelines, and I was like, "Yo, how bad is it? Like, do you want me to drive you, to the medical center real quick?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I think I just twisted it. Let me sit here for a little bit." So we end up playing the whole game. He's just sitting on the sidelines. Later on, like, you can tell this man needs to go to go talk to someone.
Yeah, someone needs to be talked to.
3 places his ankle was broken.
Ugh.
Now, he told everybody that he fell down a flight of steps because he did not want someone literally half his size to be told that that's what happened to him. But I was in college, I didn't know what to do. Like, I literally just stood there and I was like,
yeah. We're not good in those situations. Like, men are not equipped. Yeah, so I as you know, I used to teach, and I learned the difference between boys and girls very early on in my teaching career. We were coming inside from recess, and we're going upstairs back to the classroom. And on the way upstairs, the fire extinguisher. So one of my boys, with his big head, hits the fire extinguisher and knocks to the ground. Ooh. So all the stuff starts spraying everywhere, just like circle. So what do my girls do? They all walk down nicely, single file, and wait at the bottom of the stairs for my instruction. I'm looking at them like, oh, okay, cool. Look over, what are the boys doing? They're running in place, screaming, holding their head. I'm like, yeah, this is the difference right here between boys and girls. This is how we deal in crisis.
Well, so here's the fire extinguisher story. It was my roommate's 21st birthday in college. Mm-hmm. And he was the last one of us to turn 21. So we were all like, finally, everybody could go out for this one.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you don't get it first, because then it's no good, because
So I was the first one.
Yeah, you don't want to be there. You want to be in the middle of the pack somewhere or last.
So so my neighbors were throwing a party for my 21st. The guys across the hallway, and the cops came, and I was the only one that ran away, and I was the only one that didn't have to worry about it. I was like, "Oh, the cops are coming." I was just out. And then I came back later. They were like, "Why'd you run? Like, you're the only one that's 21." And I was like, "Instincts, they're coming."
Yeah,
I'm out. But so it was such a big deal. Like my friend, like he had his like girlfriend that was like living back in Philly come up for it. It was going to be this big, huge party.
Yeah, the monster.
Well, same thing. We're leaving to the apartment complex. We accidentally somebody bumps into the fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher falls all over the stairwell and everything.
Right.
All of the girls that were with us were like, "Oh," and they like run out the door. What do all the guys do? What do we do? We literally just stood there and looked at it like,
yeah,
this isn't good.
Yeah. Well, how do we react to this?
This isn't that good. And then it's spraying, and Wells like, should we call somebody?
Yeah.
Should we call someone? Like, do we just leave it here? It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock on a Friday night. Who's coming to fix this right now?
Right.
So chaos.
No, I get it. So Wednesday night, Wells Fargo Center, Game 2.
What did I tell you? What did I say to you? I said double digits. I didn't expect 25. I didn't expect 25.
Yeah, but like I was in a weird position. Like I said, I thought if it was going to be a loss, this would be it. However, I didn't think they were going to lose. And I said what it was that at the end of the third quarter, if this was a close game, I don't like them in that. But it wasn't, because
it was essentially done at halftime.
It was done. Yeah,
I think it was a 14-point lead at half, but it felt like 40.
They came out, they saw, they conquered. And it was and that's what I was looking for. That was what I was looking for. That's literally all I wanted was that. That's what I was looking for. Game 1, you can see the difference in the way Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 was not good enough. Yeah, they won the game because the Wizards are horrible, and the Wizards are just a terrible matchup for the Sixers. They're just a bad matchup.
Yeah.
And they're not a great team anyway. But for the Sixers, the way the Sixers play basketball, it's just not a good matchup for the Wizards. It's not at all. Because Bradley Beal can score 70.
And it won't matter.
It doesn't matter because they, like, with I know Westbrook got hurt in the game a little bit. He was a little hobbled. But with everyone else there, they're in bag. They're in Ziploc bags in the freezer. Their freezer burn section. And that's Sixers can do that to teams, especially to a team like the Wizards, who don't really have, like, Westbrook, as great as a player as he is, he's a guy that you don't want to have to rely on his offense, if that makes any sense.
No, he's not a good shooter. He is a below average shooter. He's an above average facilitator, athlete, all that. But when it comes to shooting, he's a below average shooter. That's why Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, because Westbrook would just start chucking up threes at the end of the game, close games, playoff games. When you had Durant, he was an MVP in OKC. I don't know if he was the Durantula like he is now in OKC. Yeah, I don't know if he really developed that until he was in Golden State. And James Harden, obviously, he was a younger player, but you had Harden and Durant, and you still had Westbrook chucking up threes. So no one's going to mistake him for a great shooter. So a couple takeaways from the game. Number one, I lost 2 very close bets. One of them I'm annoyed about. The other one I'm okay with losing. The one I lost is, how does Davis Bertans not get 1 3-pointer?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean,
the thing about Bertans is, like, he can shoot you into games or he can shoot you out of games. I mean,
24 minutes. 6 fouls, fouled out of the game, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 blocks.
But you know what? Your bet was safe because he's been a Sixers killer over the years. Like,
you only need to knock one down. I need him to knock one down.
Well, listen to this. I think I can one up you here. I did a bet on FanDuel for it was worth over $7K. Okay. The hardest. Here's the thing. I looked at the game on Wednesday. I was like, you know what? I feel like Ben's coming out aggressive Ben tonight. I feel like he's going to put up some points. So I'm like, I'm going to take a risk here because Ben Simmons scored 25 and over on FanDuel was a plus 1750. I'm like, This is a calculated risk, but a
You
really
have to know off the top of your head what 20 in a win was for him.
say it again.
So you said it was 25 in a win?
25. If for Ben Simmons just to score 25 and over, this is the same game parlay I did. So just to score 25 and over was 1750.
Oh, I thought it was the double.
I put that together with a bunch of other bets. Okay. So I had Ben over 25. I had Embiid at 30. Then I had Toby over 15. Then like the assist numbers, stuff like that. Then I doubled down and took the over with Ben over 13.5. So Ben scores 12 points in like the first 5 minutes of the game. So I'm sitting on the couch with Amber. I'm freaking out. I'm like, listen, by far, this is the hardest thing we have to do. And we're happy with that. And then the game gets out of hand to the point where Ben doesn't play in the fourth quarter. And then
I don't think any of the starters really played in the fourth.
So Ben finishes with 22 and Embiid finishes with 20. So that was a tough pill.
I think Embiid also had 22.
Maybe you're right, but maybe you're right about Embiid.
Because I had another parlay, a separate one. This is the one that I'm okay with losing.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of different things to hit, and the last thing I needed was Embiid 25 points.
Yeah.
And I think he had 23. Now, I'm okay with him not having to play the fourth quarter. I'm okay. Absolutely. I'll take that L.
Absolutely. And and
I'm glad that they didn't play. I was though worried that Dwight Howard's going to play the whole fourth quarter, and I did not want to have to watch that.
Right. No one wants to see that. I could do Maxey all fourth quarter, but I don't need to see Dwight whole fourth quarter.
No. I was just like too much time out there with too many scrubs, and for him to do something too crazy.
Yeah, but since we brought up Ben a little bit, this is what I wanted. This is it. Like, I don't need him to score 22 a game. I don't need that out of you. I just need you to, first of all, like I said, get in that pocket I want, the 16-19 pocket, but also just be consistent in trying to score the basketball. You can still do all that other stuff. You don't need to be a second leading scorer on a team. You don't need to be a second leading threat on the team. You just need to be a threat. You got to be consistent in trying to score the basketball, because you see what happens there. Like, look at the and this just kind of frustrates me a little about Doc Rivers, is that, listen, I get it. You don't want to throw Ben on the bus. You don't want to do that, and that's okay. I respect that. I don't like a coach that goes out there and just obliterates his players in the media. I don't think that's fair, unless it's extremely warranted. But I don't think this would be warranted. However, don't try to make me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I believe Ben Simmons should be shooting the ball more. Like,
it comes off as a little bit of a slap in the face to the fans.
Yeah, this whole I don't know what you guys are watching.
Like, you've been. Let's be honest. Doc has been here for what, 8 months?
Yeah.
I've been watching this for 3-4 years now.
Right.
Like, Doc has forgotten more basketball today.
Yes.
Than I know.
No question.
No doubt about it. But don't sit here and tell me I don't know what I'm talking. It does come off as a slap in the face. And now it's never a good idea to go after your fans. Never a good idea. But I mean, especially here, especially this particular fan base, because you haven't delivered off of the process yet.
No.
Now, it looks good. It looks real good. I'm not going to deny that it doesn't look good. But you haven't delivered yet. Right. So I don't know if you've necessarily, don't get me wrong, you win the chip this year, I almost don't care what happens next year.
Yeah.
Almost. Obviously, I care what happens. But it's like, I don't know. I'm speaking for myself now, but after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I still care about football. I still care about the Eagles. But that, burning, in my soul was, released after winning that Super Bowl.
Right.
And I feel like it'll be the same way with the people who, you have Sixers fans, and then you have the people who were still Sixers fans during the process.
Yes.
Those people, I feel like they have that burning inside of them until you give them a chip.
Yes.
So They were out there buying the merchandise. They were out there for the 10-72, season.
Yeah.
Not yet. Like I said, win that chip, have that boat parade down the shore.
Yeah.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely. 1000%. Now, like when it comes, like I don't.
Ben can be as what's the word to use for him?
Infuriating.
No. Like he's not a very personable person.
Oh no, he is an introvert.
He's not very he doesn't give you a lot in interviews. He I don't know if I want to use the word arrogant, but like that's how it feels. You know what I mean?
He's also an introvert.
Yeah.
When it comes to media and stuff, he comes across as an introvert, definitely.
I don't care about Simmons can average 4 points the rest of his career, win that chip this season. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I want multiple rings, but just give me that first. Just give me that one.
Yeah, I mean that's what we all are looking for is that one. But going back to Doc, I don't like that the way he talks about Ben Simmons and makes me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I know what I'm talking about. I don't know as much as you do because you're head coach of a professional basketball team. However, I do follow the game. I do know the game, and I know that Ben Simmons not being a guy who's looked for a shot enough in the playoffs in the past has hurt this team. Ben Simmons being a guy that can't make free throws at the end of games has hurt this team. I know that. So
now, do
you
think that there's a different message being said? Like Doc can say one thing to the media, and then for all we know, behind closed doors,
we couldn't get Justin Grasso on today. We're definitely going to have him on down the line. But that's something I want to talk to him about because he's at practices. So I kind of want to know, I don't need you to tell me, but is the energy different at practice when it comes to Ben shooting than it is in the game? Because you got guys like Sam Cassell. I know Dwight Howard's been definitely encouraging Ben to shoot the ball more. The beginning of the year, Justin Grasso actually had a video out after a game of them shooting threes, Dwight and Ben. Sam Cassell is a point guard that he was a very good point guard, very good distributor back in his day, but also wasn't afraid to shoot the ball. And actually, Sam Cassell had a really nice post-up game for a point guard. So that's another guy that I would think would be pushing you to shoot the ball a little bit. And I know for me too, my expectations for Ben Simmons, you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm talking about mine, not what a lot of people feel about him. My expectations are not unreasonable. I don't think I've been unreasonable when I'm requesting out of him. I understand, and I've said plenty of times, this whole next LeBron thing, we need to throw it out of the window. That's not who he's going to be. He doesn't want to be that. He has the potential to be that, but he doesn't want to be that, so we got to stop holding him to that. But what I'm asking him to do and the things that I want out of him are not at any stretch unreasonable and things that he can't accomplish. And in the playoffs especially, this is something we need you to do. It's not an ask. We need you to do this. It has to happen because just look at how dominant they were Wednesday night as opposed to Sunday afternoon. Look at the two differences of the teams. What is the major difference that you saw in those two games? The difference is your point guard put his head down, got to the rim, and finished successfully. That's the major difference. Nothing else really changed much. Nothing else. You can talk about Embiid's foul trouble when he was on the court more, obviously. That helps. But Ben Simmons deciding that I'm going to take the ball to the rim. I don't care what anyone does. I'm taking the ball to the rim. That was the major difference between Wednesday night and Sunday afternoon. The end. That's the difference. So don't come out here and tell me you guys aren't appreciating Ben Simmons, all of this stuff, because I do appreciate Ben Simmons. I love Ben Simmons. I'm a Ben Simmons guy. It's like my children. Just because I love you doesn't mean I don't have expectations and requirements for you. I need you to do more. If I need more from you, I just need more from you. And Ben Simmons scoring 6 points in a playoff game is not good enough. Yeah, 15 rebounds, 15 assists, that's great. Awesome. But you still need to do more, and you can do more. And then Wednesday night, you obviously were listening. You were reading the headlines.
He heard it.
You were on Twitter. You read the headlines. And I like that. I like the fact that you took that constructive criticism and you went out and did something about it. You didn't cry, you didn't pout, you didn't say, "Oh, Philly fans are too hard." To me, it's commendable that you just went out and solved the problem yourself. But listen, let's not stop here, okay? Keep the same energy Saturday evening at the Capital One Arena and in Game 4 and throughout the rest of the playoffs. Because if we can get Ben Simmons to average between 16 and 19 points a game in this playoffs, this team is unstoppable. They're unstoppable. You can't do anything with them.
When they play like they did on Wednesday, there's not a team in the league they can't beat.
Yeah, you got Embiid, you got Embiid in the 20s, you got Ben in the 20s, and you got Toby with 19. What else? I mean, what else do you need? You don't need anything else. I mean, obviously you got your other pieces in there too, but that right there, and the defense this team plays, how they can absolutely lock you up defensively. You put all that together, they're virtually unstoppable. They're unstoppable.
The Sixers, now, they do it in a different way, but obviously you remember, but the Golden State Warriors, the Dynasty Warriors,
yeah,
they would just no lead with them was ever insurmountable. You know, they could be down 20, and next thing you know, they're up by 10.
Right.
So
they were a really as good as a defensive team they were underrated defensive team.
The Sixers are very similar to where they can get scores in bunches, but in a different way, as to where they can just stop you from scoring.
Yes, they can create. Their defense can be their offense because they're so good at not just defending you; they're good at creating turnovers and creating bad shots. And we have a team like that. It's they have a lot of that 2001 team with a better offense. That 2001 team, their calling card, as great as Allen Iverson was, and the MVP year and all that, best player in the league that year, him and Shaq were the best players in the league that year. You could argue which one was better. AI won the MVP. That being said, their calling card was on the defensive side of things. They were a monster defensive team, and one thing they did really well is they created turnovers, and those turnovers created offense because they weren't a great offensive team. It was pretty much their half-court offense was give the ball to AI and get out of the way. That's all they really had. But you had guys like Tyrone Hill and George Lynch and Eric Snow, Aaron McKee. Those guys were really good. And Theo Ratliff, when he was here, those guys were really good at creating deflections, creating turnovers, which turned into fast breaks and easy points for those teams. I mean, and that's what the Sixers are good at today in that aspect of creating those, like with Thibault, who does more in 20 minutes than most guys do in 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
The fact that the steals and blocks that he creates in 20-minute spans it's unbelievable. So you have him, you have Ben, you have Joe. Tobias Harris has become a good defender, which is saying something because he was not. I mean, I'm not going to say he wasn't interested in playing defense before, but he's gone leaps and bounds this year defensively. Danny Green's still a really good defender. So you have all of that in there. That they are a team that is, when Ben Simmons is doing the things that Ben Simmons is capable of doing, they are unstoppable. They're unstoppable. And that's my frustration is that, bro, you can do this. You can do this. And I don't need, listen, at the end of the day, he scored 22 points and didn't take one jump shot. I don't need you to take a jump shot. I don't need you to shoot threes. I don't care if you do any of that stuff. What I need out of you is ruthless aggression. That's what I need out of you. Consistent, ruthless aggression. Put your head down, get to the rim, put pressure on the defense. Because even if you don't score, someone's going to foul you. Someone's going to foul you, you're going to score. Now, does he need to become an improved free throw shooter? Absolutely. But,
oh God, yeah.
But at the same time, you need to create the opportunities. You got to create the opportunities because when Ben has his head down, is going downhill, he puts so much pressure on a defense. Because there's not many people that can stay ahead of him and stay in front of him. And even when guys do, it's like that Charles Barkley effect where guys just bounce off of him. Like he's physical enough where you see a guy who's in front of him and Ben gives him a little shoulder action. The guy gives him like 3 feet of separation. I mean, that's what you get out of him. So the jump shots, you don't have to do that either. We don't need that. Just be aggressive, bro. Just be aggressive. But again, this is all I wanted. This is it. That's all I wanted. That's what I was saying.
We got it. 2 down, 14 to go. I'm going to, for the show next week, and moving forward subsequently, I'm going to have a board behind me, okay? And I'm just going to have tally marks up there. So I'm just going to start marking them down so you'll be able to keep track of them.
Love it.
We only need 16. We already got 2.
Love it. So you want to take a break before we go around the league, or do you want to do that now?
Yeah, no, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
Pay some bills real quick. And then after that, we'll take a look around the NBA.
Love it. Love it. Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatecan fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. So we go around the league playoffs. Let's start in LA with the Suns Lakers series. Lakers with a convincing win last night, 109-95.
Yeah, it looks like that series bout's over, man.
What is it with Chris Paul? Can we just stop and talk about Chris Paul for a second? I don't know what it is about this young man. I don't understand that. I feel that every year I think that he's close to something, and there's a team that may, he has a team together that may, get to the finals and finally get him in the NBA finals. Something weird happens. You go back to the Lob City days with all the stuff that happened with those teams. Then you go to Houston where they had Golden State basically beat. Chris Paul tears his hamstring, can't play Game 7. There's always seems to be something. Now you have the shoulder issue, which some are calling a dirty play. I don't know. I think it's just basketball. I mean, just like the Devin Booker play last night with Schroeder at the end of the game. Yeah, it was. I guess technically, yeah, he did push him, but come on, bro. The NBA is so soft these days. I mean, Derek Schroeder was breathing off the ground, and he got a flagrant too. Anyway, there's just something with Chris Paul that it always is something. If that makes any sense. There's always something with him when it gets to a point like this. But the Suns had a great year. People thought the Suns going
plus 17 wins.
Yeah. People thought the Suns going in this year would be like maybe a 5, 6, 7 seed in that range. They exceed all expectations, get to number 2. They played really, really good basketball. You see the growth of Devin. As much as I liked Devin Booker before this year, you see his growth with Chris Paul. You see how Chris Paul's making all these guys better. The addition of Jay Crowder, I thought that was huge. I think, honestly, Jay Crowder not being on the Heat is really hurting them. We'll get to them in a minute. But, yeah, so when it comes to Phoenix, they seem to have all the pieces in place to really make a run. And then, as the league would have it, the Lakers somehow get involved in the play-in, and you draw them round 1. Now, flipping to that side of the coin, that's why I was like, when it comes to the whole idea of the Clippers avoiding the Lakers, I thought, like, why wouldn't you want to face them now when they're kind of still trying to figure it out and get their bearings back instead of dealing with them in a conference final? Because if the Lakers get to a conference final with LeBron, you're going to have a hard time keeping them out of the finals. It's going to happen. So you don't want to. I would rather face them round 1 than round 3. So, but all that being said, because the Lakers. I even watched the game last night. They still don't look like a complete project. They played better. This was their best game they've played in Game 3, but you still can tell they're still trying to figure it out. LeBron's still trying to figure it out. AD's still getting back. He actually hyperextended his knee, so we'll see how that turns out because he's another guy. There's always something with him.
Yeah, and he got hit in the face and early in the game.
There's always something wrong with AD. So
he's that guy who, like, when you're playing like pick up basketball, he's got like 2 knee braces on, 2 elbow braces on. You're like, dude, what are you doing?
And at some point in the game, there's a stoppage because he hit something.
He's got a stretch like on the sideline.
Yeah. So when it comes to this series, it's been interesting because, like, even watching Game 1, the Suns basically took the Lakers apart, and a lot of that had to do with Chris Paul until Chris Paul got hurt. So it's unfortunate once again that at the end of the series, it looks like the Lakers are going to win the series, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Chris Paul is not healthy.
I'd be surprised if Phoenix wins another game.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be tough, especially if you don't have Paul. It's gonna be tough. So looking once again, we're looking at this at the end, and when all of this is said and done, we're gonna look at Chris Paul again, saying, "Man, well, if he was healthy, I wonder if," and all this stuff. It's just so interesting with him how it always seems to happen to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any stretch to say that Chris Paul is injury prone.
Yeah.
No stretch to say that. So it really,
especially in big moments.
So it really poses the question: should he be on more of a load management throughout the course of a season? Because you don't know if this is built up throughout the course of the season, throughout a long career. Chris Paul's not young compared to NBA players. He's an old guy.
No, not at all. He's a mid-30s. He's like 34. 35 range.
Yeah, he's mentally he's as good as he's ever been, but he's not a big guy. He's a point guard. What's he, 6'2", maybe 6'3" tops, if he's even that big.
Right.
So, he's gonna. I mean, I don't think his game will age very well. And that
should age well, but his body's not aging well.
Well, yeah. Let me refer. Yeah, he's not going to physically age well in the NBA. Like LeBron. If he want, like we said this, last week, if he wants to become a bench player, he can extend his he can go the Carmelo Anthony route. Melo said, "I'm gonna be a bench player." Now has at least another year or two in him, if not a couple more after that. Yes. So I don't know. It's very curious that players like Embiid get labeled as injury prone, when Chris Paul is just as much, if not more, injury prone than Embiid is.
Yeah, and not just injury prone in big moments.
Yeah.
Like, he gets hurt at the absolute worst possible time. Like, guys miss time here and there, but it seems with him, it's always when his team needs him most. That's when he's unavailable. Like, going back to a couple years ago, that Game 7, what would have happened if Chris Paul was healthy in Game 7, Warriors-Rockets in Houston? So, and again, what would happen in this series if he was healthy? It always just seems that at the worst possible time, Chris Paul is nowhere to be found.
And at least that shoulder injury, the one in Game 1,
yeah,
when LeBron, he collided with LeBron. Some embellishment
on Chris Paul's part.
Yes,
it's
like, I mean, don't get me wrong. LeBron's a lot bigger than you, a lot heavier than you, a lot stronger than you. If he's gonna move you, like in that instant, he's gonna move you. But I mean, the arms flailing and I don't know if he didn't hurt himself trying to exaggerate it.
And maybe, I mean, that's just a reflection of today's NBA. Today's NBA is
it is what it is. But if that is the case, whose fault is that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know playing back in my day, and nothing. I wasn't at the arena that night, so I don't know, but I'll tell you this much: nothing. You want to make me really angry? Nothing will make me angrier than than playing with someone that doesn't call out a pick.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Nothing will make me angrier if I don't hear you say left or right.
If I run into a freight train because of you, we're gonna have an issue.
Yeah, like I can't. Like that's something I can't do that. Like
if it happens one time because like you're like not paying attention, okay, so everybody gets snuffed, every once in a while. But if it happens twice in the same game by the same person, we're gonna
having
issues. Like we're gonna have a conversation on the bench, and it's not going to be friendly.
And it looked like when you look at that angle of that pick, it looked like Chris Paul had no idea LeBron was staying there, and that's not good. But
are we discussing the same play? Because the play that I'm discussing is the one where LeBron goes for the layup.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about the one where he's like LeBron's going. I think he goes from left to right for the right-handed layup in the lane.
Okay.
And Chris Paul fall. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the block, the screen one.
Okay. Yeah, but it's unfortunate because I would have liked to see the team's full strength to see what that series would have been. I think it would have been a really fun series. But now, without Chris Paul, you're asking Devin Booker to do a whole lot. And what made Phoenix special this year is that Devin Booker's a combo and he can play on the ball, off the ball. However, he's much more effective off the ball when he can just worry about scoring. And Chris Paul facilitating and also Chris Paul setting up Devin Booker. That's what made him so good. And you saw that in game one. Game one, Devin Booker went off because he had that support there. So it looks like the Lakers are going to win that series. We'll see, probably so. But keep it in the West Coast. Utah, Memphis.
Talk about a series that cannot capture my attention.
Did you watch? So you didn't watch game 2?
I did.
You did watch game 2. Game 2 was a fun game, man.
See, here's what it comes down to.
Basketball game.
I think this is what it comes down to for me. I am not impressed with the Grizzlies at all. I don't care about the Grizzlies at all. Like nothing. Like don't get me wrong. John Morant's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from him. But as a whole, I do not care about the Memphis Grizzlies.
John Morant reminds me of this story. Jay-Z was in the studio one day and he's recording all these songs. This is back 2001, like the end of 2001. He's recording all his songs, his music. And the producer goes to him, what are you doing? Why are you recording so much material right now? He goes, I don't know if you know this, but 50 Cent is coming. 50 Cent is coming. I'm getting all this stuff out now. That's how I feel about John Morant. John Morant is coming. Like I don't know. Like it's unfortunate that he plays in Memphis because it's Memphis. They're not on TV a lot. People get to see him a lot. But that kid is special. He's so much like some of the stuff he was like. I was watching the game in bed, and he had me sitting like the Undertaker. Like I'm sitting there like laying back. I'm just going like literally like he watching him and Donovan Mitchell go back and forth. Because Donovan Mitchell, I know in Philly with the Ben Simmons thing how it worked out, but Donovan Mitchell can play also. He's a fun guy to watch play basketball. Also. But Morant puts.
Hold on. Okay. Let me pull. I gotta drop something because of what you just said. Okay.
Okay.
Most overrated player in the league, Donovan Mitchell.
What?
Yes. Most overrated player in the league.
You're out of your mind.
Might be.
Mind.
Might be, but I also have to pat myself on the back for being correct on this.
So, okay, show your work. Why is Donovan Mitchell the most overrated player in the league?
The thing is, I have to come back with my notes next week because I didn't expect us to get into a Donovan Mitchell debate because I have very strong opinions on this.
Okay,
so I will come back prepared next. I didn't have I didn't know we were going to get into this. I didn't get my talking points in order, but I will have them for next week. Mark it. Next Wednesday, we will be discussing why Donovan Mitchell is the most overrated player in the NBA.
Okay. Anyway, but watching those guys go back and forth. I don't know if Utah can continue to shoot the basketball like this. I don't know. However, every day I say that. How many times have I said that this year? Where I don't know if they can continue to shoot the basketball like this. And then I watch them in game 2. Bogdanovich, Ingles, Mitchell, Gobert. Like, it's just.
So how about that block he had?
Yeah. The amount of like they're not shooting, like their offense is the way it's constructed. They're not shooting like how is every shot open? Like it's the wide open jump shots all over the place.
Everybody's open.
And Jordan Clarkson, by the way, throwing up just ridiculousness and it going in. Now, again, I'm gonna say it again. I don't know how much longer
the law of averages say it's gonna have to stop.
Yeah, but
it hasn't.
I tell you what, I like Utah, the team, another one where because they're on the West Coast, I don't get to watch them a lot. So watching them, I was like, "Wow, this is something to see."
So this season, I did not catch a lot of Utah. Admittedly, I mean, why would I? But last year, obviously living out west, I did catch a lot of Utah.
I saw them in the bubble. I saw them more in the bubble a little bit. And I know they're missing Bogdanovich in the bubble, which was a huge key to their team. Getting him back, it was major. And then Joe YMCA Ingles looked like he literally just rolled off like he painted someone's house and then stumbled into the arena to go to basketball.
Remember what I said in the very beginning stages of this show. LA Fitness at 3 p.m. is lit.
Yeah.
That's where he is.
Well, listen, I know like if everyone could fantasize about being a basketball player, but who wouldn't want to be Joe Ingles? Like being Joe Ingles, I think is the dream because Joe Ingles looks like a guy that most people could actually be. Like he looks like a guy, he's just so happy to be there. He looks like your average. Like if Joe Ingles walked down the middle of the street, most people have no idea he was in the NBA. Like he's just a guy that you see hang out at your local tavern, at your local brewery. You know what I mean? Like he's your everyday guy, and you don't see a lot of those guys in the NBA. Maybe TJ McConnell, another one of those guys.
Yeah,
but I think more Joe Ingles than TJ, because TJ has TJ's a handsome man. Joe Ingles is a little rugged, has a little balding spot in the back. Like he looks like a guy that literally just came off the construction site and was.
Caruso.
Like, hey, you guys want to run some hoops real quick?
What about Caruso?
Yeah, Caruso. But I don't know. Something about Joe Ingles to me. Caruso's a good one. But Joe Ingles to me is like on the Mount Rushmore of guys that don't belong here. He's like
no. Center. You know who, no, now I know he didn't play in the NBA, but you know who needs to be on the Mount Rushmore of looks like he doesn't belong here? The Professor from the And One mixtape tour.
The Professor. Which one was that?
The white guy.
Okay. I mean, S-Blade 2 could probably go up there.
Yeah, a lot of those And One guys.
A lot of the And One guys get up there. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Utah, I don't know. I would like to see them against a Lakers, a team like that. A fun series with them in Dallas. It'd be like 175, 173 every night. But
bet the over every single night. They won't be able to set it high enough.
Yeah, but it looks like Utah is going to take care of business. Memphis played, really well.
Memphis is a piece away from being like a 3-4 seed.
Yes. Yeah. The
issue is going to be, can you get that piece in Memphis, though?
I'll tell you what. It might be these guys growing up a little bit more. Because think about this. Morant, Brooks, Jackson, they're pups. They're babies. They're a young squad. Yeah,
but here's the issue though, is that does post LeBron, post AD, the Lakers will always be competitive.
Yes.
Is what it is. The Lakers will always be competitive. Dame still has a lot of left in his tank, as does CJ McCollum. So Portland will be there. Joker and Murray and Porter Jr., all those guys in Denver, they're still going to be there for a little bit. Now, outside of Chris Paul, the Suns are super young too. So if they can pull it. So I don't ever see Memphis in a beneficial position to where they're not going to have major competition out west, because Morant, like you said, they're all pups. But I mean, let's not sit here and act like Joker and Murray and Porter Jr. are old guys.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Booker and Ayton and Bridges, like I said, the Lakers will always be competitive. They're just Lakers. But
Joker and Murray, though, I think are ahead of Morant, Jackson, and Brooks as far as growth. Where what I'm saying is those three, that core three, they might grow into being a big three, like in a couple years. And then
you got to take into account: is Morant going to stay there?
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny. Like that's today's game, isn't it? Where like homegrown superstars, you always have to worry about them leaving.
Listen, if he wants to establish, I mean, don't get me wrong, he probably already has generational wealth. By signing if you're in the NBA, today's NBA, they make so much money. Even the scrub players.
Yeah, one contract.
Yeah, but he lives in Memphis.
Right.
And he has is it the bird rights that allows you to have the super crazy max? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Tennessee's a tax-free state.
Yeah.
You're
tax-free.
Oh, it's
tax-free.
If given the chance, everybody should live in a tax-free state at some point in their life because you're going to love it.
Listen, man, I'm in.
Like, why would you live in LA and pay the highest taxes in the world when 3 hours away you can live in Vegas and they don't need taxes? What the hell are taxes?
Right. So then you got Denver, Portland, which is
series. Don't I can't get a pulse on that one.
But I was going to say in the West, probably your most complete series of evenly matched teams. And it's
4-5.
Yeah, it's 2-1 right now. Denver wins last night. And I think Portland even series this weekend. And when it comes to series like this, what does it come down to? Game 5. Game 5 is always the game that comes down to. I lean towards Portland because I trust without Murray, I trust Portland's playmakers more consistently down the stretch. But you got two guys that can go get buckets when you need them. Where Joker can get you a bucket, but he's more uncomfortable doing that. And Michael Porter Jr., I think we've seen his improvement, and he's definitely going to be a superstar in the next couple of years. He's not there yet, and I don't think he's ready for that big moment of 2-3 minutes left in the game. We need a bucket, go get one. So I lean more towards Portland to close this out. Probably in 6. I see a game 5. I see them actually probably winning the next 3 games of the series and closing it out.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 6. I don't think it's going to go 7, but it's probably at least 6 games.
Yeah, but an entertaining 6. This series definitely. If you can watch a series, I would definitely. This is another one I got to catch the other night. This is another series I would definitely be tuning into.
Yeah, 2 very evenly matched teams. But I want to pose this question to you. Now, I know it's not supposed to have any impact on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I use the word supposed to in quotation marks. If the Nuggets lose in the first round, do you think that's going to have any sway on the Joker MVP talk? Now, I know it's not supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not supposed to, but like that's the problem when you give out these awards at the end of the playoffs is that people are already like if he doesn't win the MVP after all that talk before the playoffs, yeah, of course I'm going to assume that had something to do with it. And honestly, they're not going to tell you it will, but it had to have if you didn't give it to him after basically saying he was a shoo-in to win it when the playoffs started. So yeah, I definitely think if he doesn't get out of the first round, which I don't know if it's fair because Murray's a major piece of what they do. Like missing Jamal Murray is huge. It's huge because again, at the end of the game, no matter who you are, and that was always the competition in here, right? With Philly, where who's going to be our guy in that last 2 minutes to be able to create shots for people and himself, mostly for himself. Who's that guy going to be? And out there coming out of the bubble, it was Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was the guy that did that. He single-handedly got that team to the conference finals. Like Joker played okay. He played well in the bubble, but he wasn't MVP Joker in the bubble. That was MVP Murray in the bubble. Murray was playing out of his mind. They should have lost to Utah if it wasn't for him. He was putting up 50-piece nuggets like it was his job. And like, going out of that bubble, you look for Murray to take that next step. Struggled a little bit this year, but at the same time, Joker played exceptionally well, so they didn't really miss a beat. And then you got more production on Michael Porter Jr. So I don't know if that's fair. If you're going to give it to him, you should give it to him anyway. You can't hold it against them that one of their best player, arguably their best player, isn't in the playoffs.
And then to round out the West, we have Clippers, Mavs, and I think the Mavs are going to take them, dude. I mean, they're up 2-0.
Would you be surprised? But here's the thing, though. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Would you be surprised at all if the Clippers go to Dallas and win 2?
Yes.
You would be surprised. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win one of them, but if you're asking me if they come back Game 5, 2-2, I would be very surprised. Yes.
This to me is they can't. It's really simple here. They have nobody, and this is I've said this for a while now. I think Patrick Beverley is an extremely overrated defender, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. They have no answer and can do nothing with Luka Doncic. Luka is literally doing whatever
he wants to do.
Actually made me belly laugh last night, a couple nights ago. They're watching highlights of the game, and he said, "It used to be white guys were afraid to come to the hood. Now they come to the hood and kick everybody's ass."
Who said that?
Barkley. But Luka, and he wasn't in the bubble either. But he is not afraid of this team at all.
No,
not at all.
And here's the thing: is Kawhi needs to step up and be that. Kawhi needs to just say, "All right, Luke, if I'm on the court, I'm defending him."
I completely agree.
And
he's their best defender.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point in time where when you talked about best two-way players, it was Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, and Jimmy Butler. Those were the three guys that you said were,
put him in competition also.
Yeah, but I feel like he was a little bit further down. Like, it was those three were like the top three. And
yeah, he's gonna have to do it. But the thing, here's the problem. Here's the problem: is that
I'm gonna take a quote from Stephen A. Smith real quick.
Okay.
Are you gonna be a rough rider? Or you're not.
Yeah.
Is that
they're expecting? I feel like they're expecting a lot out of him offensively, and that to me is the major issue. Is that he put up 41, they still lost. And Paul George, you can't blame this on Paul George. Paul George had 28 and they still lost. So you're getting out of your two best players, you're getting 69 points. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that
defense.
The defense is suffering. It also tells you not getting enough from your role players.
Yeah.
And they bet, they got Montrezl Harrell left. You're not getting the same season on Morris as you did. And Batum is, he's a guy that's put up numbers, but he put up numbers in Charlotte. Like, he's not a guy that's been on this stage before. So you have a bunch of guys out here that are a bunch of unknowns. And again, not only is Luka doing whatever he wants, what happens when Luka penetrates? He can get to the basket, or you got Tim Hardaway Jr. over here. You got Chris Stapps back there.
Got the unicorn there.
Yeah, and like that was, we talked about this last show. A big part of the reason why they lost that series last in the bubble is because Chris Stapps gets suspended. Not suspended. He gets thrown out of game in game 1, and then after game 2, he's out for the rest of the series, and they still go 6. So the Clippers are in trouble, and
big trouble, big trouble.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go out there, because that's just what the Clippers do. We're going to make things really hard on ourselves. So let's go out here, and here's what I can see happening. I can see them going to Dallas, winning 2, then losing game 5 at home and losing game 6 on the road. That would be so Clippers.
That would be Clippers.
Wouldn't that be so on brand for the Clippers?
What's that?
Wouldn't that be so on brand for the Clippers?
Oh, peak Clippers.
Yeah, that would be that's what the Clippers do.
But what it comes down to for me personally is I think Paul George is mentally weak. And I don't think that being down 0-2 after what happened to them in the bubble last year, I don't think that, Kawhi, I'm not worried about Kawhi. Kawhi is a Terminator.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that without Paul George, Kawhi can't do it, and I don't think Paul George is going to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they win Game 3, lose Game 4, and then you know who knows what's going to happen after that. But you're down 3-1. At 3-1, it's just every game's the closeout game. Which one's it going to be?
Right. So let's go to the East. We'll stop in the ATL.
Well, let's hit a quick break real quick. Hit a quick break. Come back. Do the East after the break, and then apparently we're living on a prayer, so we have to hear all about that after that as well. So,
Brad Emery in the morning. Marques Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, or shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years.
Hits. Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between.
See,
it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brad in the morning. Marques Brown, Justin Emery. So let's head to the East Coast. The ATL. We'll go down south. The ATL. Attic City. Lemon Pepper Lou. And the boys.
Second floor at Tootsie's getting shoulder rubs.
Yes, sir. Hawks Knicks. The Hawks have outplayed the Knicks really both games.
Yeah.
And it took and first of all, Derrick Rose playing this
back the clock.
Love to see it. It is whenever Derrick Rose does well, it warms my heart. Because Derrick Rose is arguably the biggest what if story in the history of sports. What if Derrick Rose did not tear his ACL in 2012? What if that Bulls team was able to be healthy with D Rose and Jimmy Buckets? What if? And that's one of those things. We never got that Heat Bulls matchup, the Heatles versus the Bulls. We never got that. We were supposed to get that. We should have got that year, actually. That 2012 year, if Rose didn't tear his ACL, you probably have Heat Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. We didn't get that. We wanted to see that. Rivalry over the course of the next couple of years. But, for me, it's always good to see Derrick Rose play well. They decided to start Derrick Rose in the second half of Game 2. Pays dividends for them. They go out. Rose gives you a big effort. Julius Randle's still trying to figure it out. This is his first playoff experience. You know what? I'm not sure of his first playoff experience, but I know it's his first playoff experience as the biggest star on the team. Like, this has been his team this year, and this is his first time having to deal with that load. Got some timely shooting from guys like Bullock. I'll tell you one thing right now watching the series. Here's a guy I would love to have back here, and I wish Sixers would have re-signed Alec Burke. Alec Burke would look nice on this squad. I wish the Sixers re-signed him. I really do. And you saw what Alec Burke does is something that I'm not sure we really have in a second unit, is a guy that can go out there and get buckets on his own. and go out there and just create and create.
But
it's supposed to be, but we don't know. We don't know what it looks like in the playoffs.
He was so bad last game.
Yeah, and you look, and here's the thing about Burke. You look at the bubble last year. The best part of the Sixers in the playoffs was Alec Burke. As bad as it was, Alec Burke played really well in the playoffs for Sixers last year. He was the only, really one of the only ones that could say had a good series against the Celtics, and he was a starter then.
I got one candidate though that could potentially be up there for the biggest what if story in sports. Now I'll give you Derrick Rose probably the biggest in NBA.
Yeah,
you have who was it? Greg Oden. You have but they never showed you the flash though that Derrick Rose had.
Right.
Give you one though. In baseball.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess first?
Baseball, what if?
Baseball, what if within the last 10 to 15 years and not a pitcher?
Last 10 to 15 years of baseball, what if? I don't know. I'm stumped.
Josh Hamilton.
Oh. Yeah. 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 His is a sad story with him with the the drug abuse and him be able to fight back to become what he became in Texas, all to have it just kind of go by the wayside. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Because Josh Hamilton and Josh Hamilton and Derrick Rose, they have a lot of parallels where you saw how good it could be.
Yes.
Like you saw how great it could be. Like you go back and watch Derrick Rose highlights of early Bulls Derrick Rose, it was absurd. Same with Josh Hamilton. Remember the home run derby with Josh Hamilton?
That year he had 30 home runs before the All-Star break.
Yeah. He was an absolute monster. So I agree. But it's nice to see. It always makes me feel good when Derrick Rose plays well. I don't like the Knicks in this series. I want the Knicks to win this series because I want to see that Sixers, Knicks, New York, Philly thing. I don't think it's going to happen based off of what I've seen thus far.
See,
the thing is I've seen the Hawks outplay the Knicks for the majority of both games. And they can't do anything with Trae Young. They have no answers for the penetration of Trae Young. And the Hawks, when the Hawks are playing well in these two games I'm seeing, everything is coming really easily. They're not working really hard for anything. And I look at that, and as much as I want New York to win this series, I think it would be so cool to have Sixers next second round of the playoffs and Madison Square Garden, the Wells Fargo Center, the history of those two franchises. That would be awesome. I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think we're probably facing the Hawks in round 2.
It doesn't matter who they face in round 2. They're gonna beat them in 5 games either way.
Yes, I like the Sixers. See, I think the Sixers match up better with the Hawks than they do the Knicks. The Knicks don't scare me, but I think it's going to be a harder road to beat the Knicks than it will be the Hawks. I think the Hawks, though, they don't play enough defense to play against the Sixers. They just don't. And offensively, they're such a finesse offensive team that matches up very well with the Sixers because Sixers have great guard play, and especially defensively. So I think it's just a bad matchup. And we always talk about sports about matchups, and the the Sixers are a bad matchup for the Hawks. So with them, that could be another sweep.
Could be
sweep if the Sixers end up playing the Hawks.
From one series that could be a potential sweep to a series that I think will be a sweep.
Okay. Before you say anything else, I have a question. Is Bam Adebayo okay?
I saw your tweet last night.
I don't know, and I know I'm being dramatic when I say this, but this is what sports is. It's about the moments. I don't know that I've seen someone that was so good look so terrible. He looks like he has no idea what he wants to do. I'm looking at him play, and I'm like, he's turned the ball over. He's just turned the ball over, thrown the ball away. He's throwing the ball. He put the ball everywhere. His mid-range jump shot, he's getting wide open mid-range jump shot, clanking it off the side of the rim. That team, that was one of the ugliest games I've ever seen from a basketball team. I mean, they were struggling to put up 30 points in the first half. Like, it was painful. It looked like a professional team against a high school basketball team. And like you look at the Heat. One thing I loved about the Heat last year is that the Heat always played hard. They were in every game because of their will to succeed. This year, I don't know if Tyler Hero's been out in South Beach too much.
He just turned 21.
Yeah, he just turned 21. So I don't know if he's just feeling himself. He doesn't look like the same guy. Bam Adebayo doesn't look like the same guy. Jimmy Butler can't do it by himself. Duncan Robinson literally could not get a jump shot off last night. And when he did, it wasn't in rhythm. They just look like a mess. I think Iguodala is 95 years old. Trevor Reeves is 77 years old. You know, it's just a mess out there.
It's going to be a wrap for them. That's going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, going into game 2, it looked like it was going to be a series. But what it looks like happened is that overtime game was like the last gasp for the Heat. That was all they had. And after the Bucks got past that, it was like, all right, we got these guys. And now, yeah, that looks like it's gonna be one of the rare times Charles Barkley predicts something right. Because it looks like it's gonna be a sweep. And Bucks Nets coming to a TV near you very soon. That's gonna be a bloodbath.
That's moving on to the last series we got to talk about. That's probably gonna be a sweep as well.
Yes, yeah. That's all. They don't have any. They it's similar with them where they don't have enough. They don't have enough. When Jaylen Brown goes out for the year,
with Jaylen Brown, they weren't going to beat the Nets.
Right. The problem, Kemba Walker is, and this is where Kyrie Irving again. This is why you get the treatment he did, because like as good as Kemba Walker can be offensively, he's such a liability defensively. And Kyrie Irving's not a great defensive player either, but he's not a liability. Like Kemba Walker is a liability defensively.
Oh, he's a turnstile. He's a turnstile.
It's awful. And like and Kemba Walker is like one of those guys where if he's not hitting shots, he doesn't help you. He doesn't help you. That's all he really can do. If he's not coming off the pick and roll, hitting Jays, that's it. That's all he's got. So you have that, and they just again they don't have enough. They don't have enough. And I wonder what it's going to be with Brad Stevens at the end of this year, because Brad Stevens is like a guy exhausted. He looks like he needs a good vacation, because like it looks like
coach at Indiana.
Yes,
and I don't mean the patient.
Yeah, right. That's how I feel too. I feel like these guys in the NBA. First of all, Brad Stevens looks like around their age, and I think
he's in his early mid 40s. Yeah,
he looks like he's like about their age. He's having issues dealing with the personalities of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. That's been a whole thing this year. And, sometimes it happens with a coach where guys just stop listening and guys just don't care anymore. And like, whatever you say, no matter how successful you've been, because Brad Stevens, if he left at the end of this year, he had a good NBA coaching career. He went to a couple conference finals. They won every year. They were in the playoffs every year.
This is what I would expect him. I'd expect him to go back to college. I don't know if he'd necessarily win a NCAA tournament, but he'd make it to a couple Elite Eights, maybe a couple Final Fours.
If he gets to Indiana, he's gonna do some damage there. Because that'll be a perfect spot for him, because it's a basketball cultured school with a rich basketball history. That if they get a big name coach, the recruiting will skyrocket.
Yeah,
people want to play at Indiana. It's just that they haven't had. Bobby Knight hasn't been there in 25 years.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, like, then if he ever he's young enough that he could go back to college, coach there for a decade, maybe win a championship, make it to a bunch of, Elite Eights, a couple Final Fours, maybe even make it to a couple of championships, even if he doesn't win them. And he'd still be young enough that if he wants to go back to the NBA, he wouldn't have a problem getting a job.
Right. Going back to the Bucks real quick, I gotta be honest. I admit when I've been wrong. They are definitely better than I thought they were. And it's not based on the Heat. It's based on things they had this year and they didn't have. I think the addition of Drew Holiday has been major for them, and having another playmaker that's not Chris Middleton. And also Drew Holiday, more importantly on the offensive side, on the defensive side, he gives them another guy that can lock down. Now, I still favor Sixers over them. And, I don't know if they can get back past the Nets, but it's going to be a series. It's definitely going to be and again, must watch television.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that obviously we're biased.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
think we're reasonable also.
So I'd like to think that the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be the series to watch in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I would be naive to not think that the Bucks Nets second round matchup is going to be up there too.
It's going to be a main eventer. That's gonna be a good series. I'm excited to see that with myself as just a fan of basketball.
And how about say it goes 7 games and the Sixers sweep the Hawks?
I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, that is a possibility. And I want to see if they have Antetokounmpo on Durant. That's what I would do. If I'm the Bucks, I put Antetokounmpo on Durant. I go Holiday on Harden.
Yeah.
And then Middleton on I guess not Middleton, but I guess I go DiVincenzo on Irving. Because I think that's your best because Holiday is not just a good defender, he's a disciplined defender. So what Harden does such a good job at is getting you to dance and getting you to get up with the up fakes and create the fouls. Your best chance of offsetting that is putting your most disciplined defender on him, and that guy is definitely Holiday. That's why I think I want. I know like we thought about Simmons on Durant. I might want to see Simmons on Harden, just because I think Simmons is a disciplined defender, and like I don't want because here's the deal: if you put Danny Green or Seth Curry on Harden, he's going to line a lot, and a lot of those.
I'll put Thibault on Harden because
when he's in the game, yeah, absolutely. When he's in the game, yes.
I'm going to say this, and this will be my last point on the playoffs and everything for today. I think Thibault is a better defender than Ben Simmons.
I'm not ready to say that yet, but if he keeps going this direction and he's able to start,
and me saying that doesn't mean that Ben Simmons is not good.
Well, Ben Simmons has said this year a couple of times that he goes to Matisse for defensive advice, and Matisse inspires him. And he'll talk about stuff with Matisse, and he's called Matisse a defensive genius.
Like 5, what's it? Was it 5 steals, 4 blocks, or 4 blocks, 5 steals? Yeah. In 19 minutes.
Yeah.
Imagine if he played 35.
Yeah, but I need to see it still. I hear what you're saying. No question. And I think that we're heading that direction where Matisse Thybulle will probably be the best defender on this team. But I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to need to see it over a course and play out as a starter. But no, I'm with you.
So before we get out of here for the Memorial Day weekend, before we sign off everything, you have. I'm unaware of where this is going. We do that when we were doing our pre-show, and I was punching up different headlines and going over things. You were like, punch up this slug for me.
Yeah.
And wouldn't tell me anything about it. So before we get out of here, before we sign off for the long 3-day weekend.
Yes. There it is. What are we talking about? I'm going to tell you what we're talking about. So
we're talking about practice?
Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but I've been having some knee issues.
Yes.
Did I talked to you about this?
Yeah. You were mentioning it for basketball related things.
Yes. So I'm a lefty. So my plant leg is my plant leg is my right leg. So because of that, it's taken a lot of abuse over the years. And self-admittedly, I probably should have gotten this looked at years ago. I just didn't. But over the past 6 months, it's really been noticeable. Like I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble walking for longer than like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's flaring up.
Where like I'm having trouble. Like after I walk for that amount of time, I'm not getting flexibility in my knee anymore. It's like not bending properly. So finally, I decided to go to the doctor, and my doctor said I may need surgery. But then she also said, but you know how it works with insurance. You gotta go to physical therapy first, and then go through the protocols because they won't give me the MRIs where they show the ligament damage, stuff like that. But you can't get to that until you do physical therapy. So I started my physical therapy 2 weeks ago. I'm in the office and they have the radio on, and so I'm sitting there. I'm talking to my physical therapist. We're going through everything, and the song "Living on a Prayer" comes on, and like we're still doing mass stuff like that, so you can't see people like their mouths like that. "Living on a Prayer" to me is one of those songs that, like, if you don't like this song, I think there's something fundamentally wrong with you. Like, if this song doesn't bring a smile to your face, then I feel like there's an issue with you, and I don't know if I can talk to you, because like you just don't you don't want to be a happy person. You don't enjoy happiness. Like, if you don't want to sing about Tommy on the dock, then I don't know what we're doing here. And like, it's funny because so I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking about all this. This is going through my head of like this song and how like it's one of those songs that like you hear it, it just brings a smile to your face, no matter who you are.
Let me just get. I just want to make sure I understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So you're there doing all sorts of knee flexibility drills and everything. You know, you're getting the landing gear right and everything. And the only thing that's going through your mind,
yeah,
is you can't associate with people who don't like living on a prayer.
Right. So listen, because I'm flashing back in my head of all the times I've been at the bar, drunk, eyes closed. You gotta hold on, arm around a complete stranger. You don't know the person. Like, this is one of those songs.
I've seen you at the bar like that. I understand. I get it.
One of those songs that galvanizes communities. Like, literally, people, you put your arm around someone, you don't know them, and you're singing this close to their face. You gotta hold on to what you got. Everyone's just so happy. So it's funny because I looked over like the far end, and one of the therapists is walking away. And the first part, Tommy used to work on the dock. She starts singing at the top of her lungs. Didn't care anyone was around her. Didn't care what's going on. So I started thinking in my head, this is one of those songs to me that if you don't like this song, there is something fundamentally wrong with you as a human being. Like, you don't enjoy happiness. I have other songs that I feel that way about. Now I'm going to give you a couple more of mine. And then I would like you, if you can think of some, to give me one of yours where you're like, yeah, if you don't like this song, I'm out on you. I'm out. Okay? All right. So I'm going to give you another one. September. Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. That is a song that you hear it, the trump, you're in immediately. Do you remember? It just makes you happy. That song, here's another cheesy one that like, but it's a wedding type song to me. Like, if I'm at a wedding, I want to hear Build Me Up Buttercup. It's ridiculous. I don't know what they're talking about, but I want to be built up by Buttercup. I got to do it. It makes me happy. And then there's one hip hop song I can think of that's universal that if you don't like this song, I don't know what's wrong with you. But those are my list. And as you can see, it's more of a wedding theme.
Yeah. Like
those wedding type songs. But like, I have one more hip hop song I'll save till you're done. Can you think of a song?
Well, I have two of them right now.
Okay.
On my mind, but I want to hear your hip hop song because one of mine is a hip hop song.
One of yours is a hip hop song. Okay.
So I would like to hear what yours is before going.
So hip hop is something. Hip hop's number one art form in the world now, but hip hop still is controversial. Like, grandma's not throwing on easy. But however, this is one of those songs that you can play and even grandma will be like, yeah, baby. Summertime, Will Smith.
Ooh, yes.
Drums, please. Oh, yeah, that's one of those songs.
That's a good one. That's not the one I was thinking of.
It's universal, not controversial. It's just one of those songs where it's like, yes, let's go.
Yeah. So I actually thought of a third one.
Okay.
While I was sitting here. So I'll give you the first two, and then I'll give you the last one, the one that just popped in my mind.
Okay.
So I'm not really the biggest rock music person, as most people on the show know, but Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden.
Ooh, little Stones on me.
Yeah, so that is definitely up there. That's like that's a go-to. Boom, that one.
See, if I was going Stones, mine would be Bitch.
Hey. Okay, I mean, see, the thing is, the problem with, or I shouldn't say the problem. The thing about like Beast of Burden is it reminds me of those like summer days just driving down the highway song.
I hear you. Yeah.
So that's that.
Good. Nothing wrong with that.
No. So then I'll give you my hip hop song next.
Okay.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Hip hop Bible.
Yes. Like
you can't call yourself a hip hop fan if you don't know every word of those lyrics.
You can't go if that song comes on at a party, every single person is standing up, jumping around rapping that song.
I agree. That like I thought about Juicy's one of those I thought about. Absolutely. Yeah, no question.
And then here's this is just like, you have this song. I mean, I've seen you firsthand. You have those songs where it just comes on. It doesn't matter what's going on. You're going to do something.
I'm out. Yeah.
So this is one of those for me. All right, you ready? Go back. I'm taking you back to, I believe, 1994, I think it is. 93, 94, something like that.
Okay.
Mambo number 5.
Mambo number 5? You're a Mambo man?
I am.
That's more, I think that's more like 96, 97.
Oh, is it that? Might be.
Or late 90s, but it doesn't matter. Lou Bega.
Yes.
Call him Lou Bega.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mambo number 5.
Yo.
Look at you with the Mambo.
So
well, you know what? That's kind of a wedding vibe too.
Yeah.
I got another one for you. And people are gonna be like, "What?" But it's one of those songs that like I heard this song the other day for the first time in a really long time, and I've forgotten about it. But this song to me is on this list. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy.
Hold on. I got
so call me maybe.
So I'm pulling up right now on right here my Apple Music right here. Okay. I'm pulling up right here my last 5 searched songs. Okay. Number 5, "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio.
Ooh.
Number 4, "Burn One" by Burner.
Okay.
Number 3, "Call Me Maybe," right there.
Holy Ray Jepsen, look at you.
Number 2, "Mr. Right Now," Drake and 21 Savage. And the last song I just searched for was On to the Next One, Cassidy and Swizz Beatz. So you can see right there. It is. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, like it's one of those songs.
Friend of the show, Hambino.
Yeah.
Used that beat on one of his mixtapes before, and he did an impressively good job with it.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. It's literally one of those songs that like you can't be. What are you mad about? Like it's cheesy. Yes, I admit it's cheesy, but it's fun. It's okay to have fun, especially you have a couple drinks. You're at a bar. You're with your friends. Have a little fun. Lighten up. Like I'm not one of those people that go out looking to be mad, looking to have problems. When I go out, I am going out looking to have a good time. And that means I need to be the big black guy saying Carly Rae Jepsen. I'm going to do that. I'm okay with that job.
So before we get out of here,
mm-hmm.
Stay in the realm of music for a minute. Stay in the realm of songs. Okay. Just give me one. I just need one, and then I'll give you one of mine.
Okay.
An absolute guilty pleasure song.
So a guilty pleasure song.
Well, actually, I'm going to actually expand the parameters a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Because I have like 2 major guilty pleasure songs, and then it's a major drop off to the next one.
Okay.
So I'll ask you for 2. For me, particularly, one of them is more poppy. The other one's more of like a club song.
Okay.
So do you have a similar?
I'll give you one right now. People are going to raise their eyebrow at. I'm an Ice Ice Baby man. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you one.
That's Ice Ice Baby slaps. I don't care what anyone says. That song slaps.
I'll give you one for me.
Okay.
Beyonce, "Halo."
Oh, that's on my Beyonce playlist. Absolutely. Great song.
So that's on there. And then you have another one. You have a clubby song or
a club banger. I can't think of a club one, but if you want to go soft and sappy, I love what's the one with sometimes the sun goes round the moon. Save the best for last. Denise Williams.
I have no idea what song that is, so I don't even know.
Okay, yeah. I love that song.
So this is a club song, and anyone that has ever been out in an establishment with social gatherings and adult beverages and all that knows that if this song comes on and I hear it and everything's flowing, I'm having myself a Marcus Baltimore incident. Okay?
An incident.
Okay? And
Yeah.
that is Rude Boy by Rihanna.
Oh, love
Yo,
Rude Boy.
That song comes, it's getting.
I'll give you a banger that like when I if I hear this, it's going like I've seen like this is one of those things being in a club. It's a moment when the song comes on. But I have two. Pop That, French Montana, Drake, Rick Ross.
Okay, yeah.
That is a moment when that song comes on. Another moment is Never Scared, Bone Crusher. That is a moment.
If I was ever near around you and that song came on, I'd move away.
That's a movie. That song comes on and you look people in the eyes. I told you I ain't never scared. Yo, movie. That song's great. And the last one, Annie Up remix with Busta Rhymes, MOP, Remy Ma, Young Remy Ma. That song, I've seen actual bottles break to that song. People drop bottles. It's great. The energy is crazy. Those are my 3 favorite club moments.
Yeah, no. If I'm gonna have a movie song, where you're like, yo, it's a moment, it's a movie. It's right above it, Drake and Lil Wayne.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that song. That's a great one. Yeah, no question. But listen, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
We will be back June 2nd, Wednesday, June 2nd.
Yes.
Hopefully talking second round.
Hopefully talking second round of playoffs. I mean, let's put it in the atmosphere. Let's speak it into existence. We'll be talking second round of playoffs Wednesday, June 2nd.
We'll probably be getting into some NFL stuff because it'll be after the June 1st deadline.
There we go.
Some movement around.
There we go.
Getting into some NFL things will probably be, let's see, if it's June 2nd, what are we? We're getting probably close to about the 2-month mark approximately of training camp starting.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yep. Yeah.
And I will be officially putting the tombstone on the 2021 Philly season.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. I'm in a good mood. Memorial weekend, living on a prayer. I'm not doing it. Follow me at Market Between everywhere. At
Justin Emery on the Bluebird app. At Justin Emery Show.
Emery Pod everywhere. Get your gear at BradEmeryShow.com. 10% off the code BREMY.
Mm-hmm. And we will be bringing a live show to you there shortly.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to check that out.
Until next time, you be with us, you be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Late.